Much love, and I'm Wayne Johnson with Doc and Queen Ministries, also the author of the book entitled Every Child Deserves a Father. Going to share you the different steps, stages, characteristics of the prodigal son, one of many of our favorite parables that is in the New Testament. So let me go ahead and get it started. The reason why this has even been brought upon is because on Monday night, and I believe that morning, I shared with you a prayer for the prodigals. Well, as I got that prayer or was gathering that prayer that night, I also received from God the stages of the prodigal son. And so I'm going to share with you the stages of the prodigal son. I believe there are 10 stages of the prodigal son. And for those who are standing, because most of the people who are probably watching this video are probably standards, and you'll probably be able to relate that story, these stages of the prodigal. So let us start with stage number 1 of the prodigal son. And the first stage was he was inconsiderate. Because you can understand that he was inconsiderate because he wanted his portion of his father's estate before his father had even passed. And so typically you don't receive your inheritance until your person, your family member has passed on. And so the prodigal son first was inconsiderate. The second stage of the prodigal son was he was cocky. He asked for his inheritance before its time. So he was cocky. The third stage of the prodigal son was he was self-absorbed. He was to the point that once he received his portion of his inheritance, he got big. He got self-absorbed. He thought better of himself, and so he left home. Number 4 was loneliness. He had ended up spending all of his inheritance in wild living, and he became lonely. Number 5, he became clueless because he not only lost all his money, but when he lost all his money, a famine of the land that he didn't even know much about came. So he was clueless about everything. Number 6, he had self-doubt. He wanted and desired to even eat what the pigs was eating. He had self-doubt. Number 7 was he was self-aware. He remembered what he had left behind, home. There's something special about home. Home is your safe place. When you go to a distant land and you try to make that your home, it's not your home because really technically, like I said earlier, you are clueless. But home is safe. So, number 7, he got self-awareness. Number 8, he felt unworthy. He said he could return back to his father, but not as a son, but as a hired worker. He felt unworthy. Number 9, he became humbled. He was grateful to know his father. He understood the whole thing that he had went through, that he that he was able to say to himself, I got a good father. And despite all I did wrong, I sinned against him. I am humble because he's allowing me to come back. And 10, the final one was self-assurance. The father fixed him up and told them to put the best of the best of the best on him. And so those are the 10 stages of the prodigal son. I want you, as standards, just think about where your person may fall in these 10 stages. And when you do, you will understand how similar that story is to what your prodigal may be facing. And you have to make sure that you don't be like that older brother who, when the son came back, that he looked at what he had did and was envied because the father was glad that he was home. I hope that this is going to help you. I hope that everything goes well. I hope that prodigal prayer makes a difference for the prodigals that are out there. I've also done a prayer on standards and prodigals. We must stay connected with God. Take care. God bless. And once again, much love.